Hi, my name is David Georgiani, and I will be going through Sage Social Studio. Essentially, it is a studio that helps entrepreneurs, founders, or whoever wants to be active on social media to develop their ideas and build on them and post them on a variety of social media. Right now, we support LinkedIn and Twitter for the most part. And Substack doesn't necessarily have an API, as far as I know, but we still tailor things for Substack as well. I will show those. And I will walk through how this helps people like myself who want to develop their ideas. So, first of all, we're going to need to log in. I'm going to use Google as my account. You can see I'm signing in. And the account already exists. It is not being used a whole lot, but it's a demo account. So what you can see is the number of posts that are posted, and you can see there's something that was worked on before. But for the interest of our demo, I'm just going to paste an idea here. And it is something around a basic kind of like concept around being able to become an entrepreneur, essentially. While this processes, we can see that we have a few. So if you want to specifically know, I want to optimize this for LinkedIn or Twitter thread or Substack or tweet, you can do that. In this case, I didn't do it. I just went right in without it. The other thing to note is that this application has been made mostly responsive. So I use it on my phone a lot, where I can come in and just type things in and process it. So I don't have to like have a separate place to monitor and manage and keep track of a lot of those ideas that I had. And every time you can see that this will be kind of uh, developed and contained. So now in this case, um, the idea is processed. When it is processed, a few things happen. One, there's a scoring that is done. How I called it polished, 76% polished. And it comes from two evaluators that I decided on based on essentially one of them is mostly like LinkedIn, if you want to post on LinkedIn, because that would be my main platform. And if I want to use other aspects and what could be improved. So these are evaluations that are looked at and kind of like can give the user a sense of what could be uh, improvements for this. And the original content is shown here, and I've asked it to enhance the version uh, automatically as well. So we have done two evaluations of this based on criteria that I found, what works for LinkedIn, others, and one enhancement. If I don't like the enhancement, I can go back to the older version and look through this. But the most important part is essentially the suggested follow-ups. In this case, I'm talking about the J curve, essentially kind of like a hockey stick, but the founder itself, not for the startup. Um, this is actually important when I'm talking about finances and being able to kind of like be in the world of unknowns. And the question makes it a whole lot clearer, which is what financial metrics would someone evaluate before taking an entrepreneurial plunge? This would be important. I'm going to keep it simple for the interest of the demo. I'll just probably save maybe something like and also mention maybe some things like risk tolerance. This could be a lot more involved. Like I would usually normally transcribe this, but for this interest of the demo, I'll just go through something super simple. And now this, along with what I've posted here and the original versions, will be taken into account to iterate the content that I have. It's not fully kind of like AI in a way that, you know what, I just type in a bunch of words and AI creates them. I don't like that because that's not me, that's something else. But essentially, you can see that the burn rate that I mentioned, the runway became a little more real term. The burn rate, I mentioned it. I mentioned a personal monthly burn. Actually, that's an interesting one. The business costs, a lot of people don't necessarily think through those. It was added. This is like a richer version of what I had mentioned. Uh, and also risk tolerance, I mentioned. Um, Family responsibilities, things like if you have kids and whatnot, that adds to the rest. So I mentioned a few keywords of what I have in mind, knowing that I couldn't talk through the demo, and it enriched it a lot more. And now making through this. Now, this is an enhanced version. I feel a lot better about this than my initial version because it is gone through this now. The interesting part is the next part, which is if I want to post on LinkedIn, I need to post it a certain way. If I want to post on Substack, I need to post in a certain way. They all have like their own kind of like tweaking and structure, but I'm just gonna make it on LinkedIn post to adjust and optimize it for LinkedIn. And it'll gonna take a second. I can do the same thing with Substack Note and others, but we can go through this now. In this case, uh, it's funny, like it hallucinated a whole lot more. So what I'm gonna do is go back to kind of like edit, turn down the hallucination, maybe the temperature, maybe make it to so it sticks to what I have before. Although the story could be real, I've turned down a whole lot of six-figure jobs for taking this bet, but it's not the thing that I said it, so I don't want it to be going through that. So that's something that will I would take it into my evaluations and go through the steps. I'm not going to go post this right away, but if I wanted to, I could go down here. It says it's not connected to LinkedIn. Connect to LinkedIn and then post directly would be something that would be useful. So you can see that in this demo even, we have to kind of like do a little bit of tweaking. I could probably, if I had time, change this up a little bit more because the meats of it is here. The runway, the burn rate, how much money I'm losing, and also like how much risk I'm willing to take. I wouldn't call it a portfolio. I would still t stick to my risk tolerance and talk about those things. But now it's a lot more refined rather than like the raw idea that I had in mind. It will take me a few more minutes of polishing this and posting it. The same thing could be applied to Substack Note, for example. I'm just going to use these as two examples because, again, each one of them have their own formula. And in Substack, you can see that it is in the edit mode, but Substack has these two essentially. This is how it would look like on Substack if I were to open up and post it and go through this. As last time I checked, Substack doesn't have an API, so I still need to copy and paste this over to Substack, but still potentially a whole lot better. I would need to potentially go through, clean this up a little bit more. Somehow the preview is not looking right. I would just test this out. But now it's a lot more clearer in terms of what it will look like. I can copy it if I'm really happy with it and copy and mark it as posted. It will go to my posted lists, or I could just copy it if I want to tweak it. As you saw, I can edit this however I want. It takes a little bit more of a tweaking before I'm going to post. But this went from something super high level that I had in mind to something that has evolved over time, which I'm more comfortable with. I could also make a change a whole lot of places here as well. So thanks.